I am Santa George, the real Santa. A long time ago, over 30 years ago, I took my 2 children to see Santa. And back in the 90s, when we took them, there were no Santas of color. So when I set my daughter on the Santa's lap, after 2.5 hours in the line, she started to cry. And when I got to the parking lot, something just hit me like a theophany. I looked at my wife and said, we're never gonna do this again. From this day forward, I'm going to be their Santa. The very first time I put on a Santa suit, it was absolutely magical. You have to have a personal reason for why you want to do what you do. And for me, that personal reason is to ensure that children see someone that looks like them. Imagine growing up in a society where you never see a superhero, a princess, a prince, a king, a queen, anyone that looks like you. And then all of a sudden, one day, you're walking through the mall and there is a mystical character that looks just like you. Imagine, as a child, how much that would change your perception of how you view and see yourself. As an African-American male, I have a responsibility to ensure that people see me in a different light than what maybe society has cast me, and how they may see African-American men on television, on commercials, in movies. So it's important that when I'm talking to a child that they see all the joy, all the happiness, all of the grace and care and love that I show, not only for my family, but for everyone that comes to see me. It's not just about the character of Santa, but it's about the spirit of Santa and about how my family would come together and we loved on each other and we cared for each other and we supported one another. My mom would make sure that there were candy bowls with the ribbon candy that she would get from one of the local stores. That's how she would sacrifice to ensure that her children had a special, special, special Christmas, and how my dad would work and labor. It is that faith, it is that family, it is that tradition that helps me undergird the spirit of Santa, that I can share joy and love and happiness with all the children, regardless of the background, where they come from, the economic status. That's why it became very, very, very important for me to do what I'm doing even right now. And I am so serious about being Santa. I am Santa, absolutely, 365 days a year. The one thing that I would like for people to remember about Santa and Mrs. Claus is that we have put everything on the field. We will not leave not one stone unturned, not one child ignored, not one person overlooked. Regardless of what people may say about who I am and what I represent, that we are going to leave everything, and I mean everything, on the field. And the one thing that I would like for them to remember about me and Mrs. Claus is that they tried to bring joy to everybody that they talked to, they saw, that they serviced, and it was never about them. It was always about the people who came to visit them.